Hello friends, my name's Emile and welcome back to some more Forza Motorsport 2. Today we are continuing on with our Let's Play. This is episode 54 and in today's episode we're carrying on with some more of the regional championships. This time we are going to be taking a look at the Italian Masters Championship, which is available to supercars of S-Class. First place prize is an MC12 and the MC12 does indeed lead the pack. So, we do need to go ahead and buy ourselves an Italian supercar. Now, because I'm not with the European region anymore, it's going to be a little bit more expensive than I'd like, but nevertheless, I think my car for today will be the legendary Ferrari F40 because, well, it's a very good handling car, and I kind of like the F40. I mean, everyone likes the F40. So yeah, let's go ahead and buy that. I am being conscious of my money because, of course, by level 39, I do need to have at least 500,000 credits so I can change region once again. But I should be able to make that. And hopefully I'll have some left to also buy some cars because that's sort of the point of changing regions. Anyways, wow, race tyres really cost an awful lot of money. We are going to go for the best tyres available there. Don't need to increase rim size or anything. We could put some aero on it if we was a bit of a dumb. I actually kind of like that rear bumper. Might actually go with that. Yeah, sod it. I'm going to go with the rear downforce. I know it's probably not the smartest idea, but I actually really like the little diffuser. I like having that. Okay. I will uprate the brakes, not that much because that costs a lot of money. Weight reduction we won't really need. I will put some power into this. Sod it, maybe 31 grand, but the cams is probably worth it. Is there anything else I really want to do to this? Maybe gearbox though, usually in the F40 is pretty darn decent. I'll do like the first stage weight reduction maybe. 7 grand, sure. Spent a lot of money on this car, but nevertheless, it should be pretty good for the championship in question. Of course, only time will tell, and that time is, of course, going to be in the actual regional championship itself. So, Italy's supercar heritage is on full display in this Class S championship. There's 4 races. We are going to be heading to the Maple Valley Raceway, Silverstone Grand Prix circuit, the Sunset Peninsula infield, and the full Mugello course. Let's head to Maple Valley Raceway first. Hopefully, we should get a decent portion of our money back on this car. Now, I am well aware of the fact that I'm not going to be able to make all my money back on this car. I mean, the races are only worth 88,000 credits in total. You know, of course, we'll get a bit more for having difficulty and so on, but I can't see us being able to make our money back considering this is like a £300,000 project car. But nevertheless, it should be fine. Ooh, there we go. A little bit difficult to get off the line, but nevertheless it still isn't too bad. Ooh, okay. I'm so used to being sort of on the inside line around that corner, I wasn't really sure where to brake on the outside line. Turning grip seems decent enough. The F40 is usually a decent handling car. This time it seems to be no real exception. Of course, we do have to catch up to the other supercars. Again, this is one of those cars which is probably going to struggle when it comes to the straight line speed, but other than that, we should be fine. I'm hoping we'll be fine anyways. Let's throw the anchors on down here. I could probably dispatch the Enzo through the corners. The Enzo, it isn't a bad car by any stretch of the imagination. It's got pretty decent straight line speed. It just isn't all that quick around the corners. That being said, if I do silly stuff like that, I'm also not particularly quick around the corners. This thing really does tap in nice. Eagle, hello Daniel. No, this is definitely not an Eagle Talon, this is a Ferrari. This is an F40, you should know what this is. Alright, it's a little bit understeery. Again, I could have put the front aero on this, I've only put the rear on, but the front aero didn't look very cool. The back aero does look very cool on this car. Right, let's actually try and get the MC12. I do believe the MC12 does have the PI advantage over us. He also has a lot more straight line speed, and also the MC12 is fantastic through the corners. Probably a bit more fantastic than my F40, to be honest with you, but hopefully I can get him on various things. That was not exactly what I wanted to do through there. The brakes aren't quite as pointy as I was expecting them to be. I was really hoping the brakes on this car would be lovely and you know, that actually get it stopped like pretty darn well. It's only a light car, £2,700, but apparently not. It does suffer from some pretty I wouldn't say they're horrible brakes, they're just pretty average. I wish the MC12 would have left the door open on that one. He's going to leave the door open for me there. Can make a nice dive up the inside there. And hopefully this is where I can start running away. Now I've damaged the car, didn't really want to be doing that, but I mean it happens sometimes, I guess. Kind of out drag him around the corner apparently. Just about anyways. Alright, okay, go up here. I'm trying not to ride the curbs so much. Again, the F40 seems to be one of those cars that just doesn't like curbs. I guess that's with most of the high performance sort of supercars and so on. They really don't like them. I ran horribly wide through there. I keep thinking this car's a lot better handling than it is. It kind of leads you into a false sense of security, really. I mean, it is a very good handling car. It's kind of understeery, though. I mean, if you drove this thing after driving some of the cars we've driven in this series, like the DB9, you'd think this is great. And to be honest with you, it is a pretty great handling car. You know, I can full throttle it around the corners. Like, the rear end does not want to slip out on this thing, but at the same time, brakes aren't quite what I was expecting them to be. Also, gearbox is a little... actually, the gearbox should be fine. I don't know, I guess we'll find out once we get to some of the more straight intensive tracks, because here's the thing, Maple Valley isn't exactly a straight line speed course by any stretch of the imagination. Stream looks to be relatively okay today. Don't hit the wall. I knew I was going to hit the wall. I do have to throw this out there. I do like Maple Valley a lot. I can't really make excuses for myself. I just make silly mistakes, unfortunately. I guess that's one of the bad things about doing an LP over, say, doing the Top Gear laps, because on the Top Gear laps I look like I can drive cars, whereas on this it's like, yeah, I actually can't. I guess one cool thing with Forza 2 is it doesn't actually have the rewind option, so I guess it kind of teaches you to drive a bit more conservative, although as you can see through there, it doesn't really work out for me most of the time. Maybe I should have just left the damage on cosmetic, I don't know. Yeah, I haven't got quite as much grip as I don't know, I want more grip, I really do. This car, it feels sorted. Like, if I had bigger race tyres on this thing, I have no doubt this could be an absolute track muncher. As it stands, it's almost there. It's so very nearly almost there, but it's just not quite, which is a bit of a shame. I might go ahead and put the front aero on this car, we'll have to see. Again, I do like that rear diffuser. It's a weird one. I will say that rear diffuser, you can actually feel the rear end of the car being really dragged down. I don't know if that's just the way this car handles by stock. Of course, the power goes to the rear and it's mid-engine, so there is probably a lot, well, there's a more weight over the back than there would be in a conventional car. But it just feels, when you push down the power, you can feel the rear end just absolutely bite down, and the front end doesn't really feel like it's doing the same. So I don't know, maybe if I do put the front aero on this car, it would help its handling characteristics. I don't really know, to be honest with you. I'll probably leave it for a bit and just get used to the way the car drives as is, because as is, it's a pretty decent car. I do really miss the whole rear aero option for Forza, because of course from this game onwards they sort of deleted the idea for a Forza rear bumper. Instead they put in the Forza wing, but they just made it on all cars. Hello Ludo. Welcome to me driving a Ferrari F40, which is so very nearly good, and it just is a little bit lacking, but it's still cool nevertheless. Here we go, roll over there. 2 more laps to gear. Let's see if we can do. Again, I'm streaming quite early today. It's like 12:30 in England, so I assume for the Americans it's like 7 AM, maybe even like 5 AM in some areas on like the west coast and so on. So yeah, it's probably a bit late for people, but whatever. Or early, I should say, but whatever. I wanted to stream. A slot opened up for me. And it's opened up for me from about now till about 3:30. So yeah, as soon as everyone starts joining, the stream's probably going to be over. I don't know. I might sort of go for like half an hour and then come back. I don't really know. Might. I don't know. There are. I don't know. Let's just say there's a couple of constraints in streaming in the usual time slots, but some other time slots have opened up, if that makes any sense to you. So, yeah. Right, through here. Off power, on power, off power, on power, off power, on power, 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 power. Yeah, that was really hard to say a few times over. Go sticker through there. Does make a very good noise, the F40. Hello, Emile. Oh, lordy lord. Right, there we go. Okay, coming up to the final lap. Gonna be here for like 10 minutes until F1 starts. Oh yeah, is it the Red Bull Ring today? I'm not sure. Also, congrudels on your match. Hopefully the Welsh get killed today. That would make me... Oh god. Well, that wasn't a particularly good thing to do. Hopefully the Welsh get killed by Portugal today. Although, from what I've heard, Portugal haven't actually won a single game, so... Emile. Anyways, it is the Red Bull Ring. Excellent. So, basically, it's lol Daniel Ricciardo wins then, essentially. One would imagine. I mean, Vettel could do quite well as well, considering, you know, Vettel. I assume the Red Bull Ring is... Well, it's obviously where they built the car today. Today it's France vs. Ireland. So when the hell... Oh, Iceland, sorry. So, okay. So I'd be fine with like a... I don't know. I don't know. I don't like Iceland, so I guess the French should go through. Then again, the French would just get killed by some other country, so... Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know / care / give a damn when it comes to football. I just don't want the same predictable bloody winners to win every single year. I don't know. I don't even know what I hope for anymore. As long as Germany doesn't win, I'm fine, Kappa. Although, not really Kappa. They probably will. We know what Germany's like. Anyways, of course, as James May famously said, to win at, you know, to win on becoming a mega power, you first have to lose at war. Well, he didn't exactly say that. He said about cars, but still. Anyways, 36,000 credits. We get a 50% discount on turbo upgrades. Wow. Yes. Next race heads to Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. Funny that. Freaking Mueller comes in saying about F1, and then all of a sudden, hey, we're gonna go to the Grand Prix track. Anyways. Right. Let us do this. Okay, Silverstone Grand Prix. I'm hoping this goes well. It should do. Alright, take two. I basically misjudged where the grass was, and you know how grass and Forza mix. Basically, the car got dragged off and damaged, so yay! That's always fun when that happens. Anyways, I need to actually be in a different gear. There we go. I kind of conceded that position to the Maserati. It probably would have made more sense not to even bother downshifting, but whatever. Maserati is slow through here. Alright. Okay. A little bit of power, a little bit of power. Try not to... Yep, you see, why is the sticky grass there? Why is there sticky grass there? Oh, God. That's one thing. Speaking of which, I am off because I'm too busy looking behind me. That's one thing I really hate about these old Forza games. I love Forza, I do. I cannot stand the sticky grass bollocks they used to have in these games. It's just so irritating. It's, why is that there? Like, why is that there? It's stupid. Anyways, slightly onto the Vodafone signs, but whatever. There goes Zonda. Oh wait, no Zondas are unlocked. I was about to say I should have used the Zonda, because the Zondas are actually very good handling cars. In fact, the is it the C12 in Forza 4? That is probably my favourite, or one of my favourite supercars to actually drive, because it's just so nice. Like, honestly, it kind of rivals the Dodge ACR, in my opinion. The only issue with the C12 in that game is it's cost an awful lot of money. It's about, like, 300,000 credits, which is about 100,000 more than it probably should be, which is a bit of a shame. Anyways, can we get around Chris Evans? I know it said a J, but I don't care. Come on. Drag him to the line on the brakes. There we go. Okay, power, power, power. Ooh, okay, you've moved over quickly. Alright, I need to be in front of the Enzos. Leave the door open, thank you, sir. Actually, thank you very much, because I don't know. He really had to sort of slam the anchors on and go around there. Yep, sticky grass. There's sticky grass there, confirmed. Why is there sticky grass there? I don't know. I really, really, really wish there wasn't. It's just, it's in such a stupid place. It's not quite as bad as it is on the next Forza games on, I believe it's Sonoma? Sedona? One of the two. I think it's Sedona. They have really, really stupid places where they put the sticky grass. And it's extremely irritating. So... can I go around the Enzo? Nope. I can push a cone into the Enzo. I'm actually robbing him now. I was gonna try and ram him out of the way, but that would have been a douche move. And it didn't work anyways. Right. Wait, why is that? Oh yeah, I hit the sticky grass, didn't I? I was about to say, why is that Enzo up here? But then I figured out why. Okay. Wait for it, wait for it. Then on the power. Come round here. Right. I don't even know if there's a point of going for first gear. First gear is a little bit too short for this track. But there you go. Oh, hey, look, all things died. Hooray. Anyways. Again, it's a weird time to stream. I assume people have... well, it's the F1 season. It's F1 today, and who cares about F1? I mean, I don't personally, but I guess other people do. It doesn't really bother me. I'll just chat to you on my own, which is fine. Anyways. Alright. Go around the outside. Yep, you're going to leave that gap nice and open for me. Alright, here we go. I just remembered. Wait. It is Sunday today, isn't it? Or is it Monday? I swear it's Sunday. Yeah, it is Sunday. I thought it was Monday. Huh. Anyways, that's good. So I went to a car show today. It's pretty neat. Didn't really have much there. It was more just sort of manufacturers showing off their nice new cars. Just trying to think of the most interesting things that were there. Oh, I saw a new Mustang for the first time. That was kind of cool. I saw a white convertible Mustang V8. Gotta say, not particularly impressed with that car. It was okay, I guess. Like, sure, it was fine. It's a little bit crap. Hello, different video quality. What? Don't understand. Also, hello, Q. But yeah. It was a cool car, a little bit cramped. It did have an automatic gearbox, because of course it did. Which isn't particularly great. So basically I did finally see a Mustang, but it was the sort of Mustang which I didn't like. It was a convertible, had an automatic. It was the V8, so I'll give it that. And it was like white with a red interior, which was... what else did I see? I saw a Focus ST, which is cool. Saw a Fiesta ST, had to sit in those. They're pretty cool cars. Gotta admit, I would prefer the Focus over the Fiesta. And oh, there was also a first-gen Mazda MX-5 there as well. There was the the only, like, this show promised used and, you know, people showing off their cars and stuff. It didn't have any of that. The only, apparently that damaged me. Okay. The only car that I did have was an old MX-5, like a 90s MX-5. I had to sit in that. It reminded me of the 90s. It smelt like the 90s, certainly. Yeah, that was kind of fun. I also got to sit in a very expensive BMW, which was very nice. It was a 60 or something. It was the new 7 Series. Those things are filled with technology. I love it. It's great. It had white leather interior, which is definitely a plus for me. And in the back of it, it had like bunch of tablets, you know, and it even had its own CD player in the back. It had its own set of climate control, which you could all control off this little iPad, and you can move your, I think you can move your seat about from the iPad as well, which was pretty sweet. Well, they want an iPad. It was like a Samsung Tab thing, but whatever. I don't know. I will. Here in England, we have a tradition of calling sort of everything a brand name, so we call vacuum cleaners Hoovers and stuff like that. And we also, with tablets, we happen to call them iPads. You know, pretty much every single tablet is an iPad. Actually, I think the only person who doesn't really refer to them as iPads here is my mother, who actually refers to her Kindle correctly. She says it's a Kindle, which is good. So yeah. Anyways, we are winning this race. The MC12 is on my heels, so I'll try not to make a mistake. Speaking of making mistakes, there we go. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I should have put the race gearbox in this car just to give it better ratios. They are a bit long. To be fair, usually... Actually, no, I think it's the F50 that's well sorted. Here's the thing. When it comes to driving, I much prefer the F50. The F50, at least in Forza 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2, and maybe even 1, the F50 is probably one of the better cars because it actually has a... You know, it's basically what I would describe as nearly the perfect car for me. Sure, it doesn't have much straight line speed, but it has a fantastic gearbox. Like, the ratios are so well sorted. It handles brilliantly. It's, you know, it's pretty much perfect for me. Which I do like. The F40... You've damaged my side skirts even more, you twat. The F40 is kind of similar in the sense that the F40 is very good. It isn't quite as good as the F50 though, in my opinion. And even in real life, you know, I personally prefer the 50 over the 40. Again, bit of a controversial choice. I know many people love the F40. I also love the F40, but I've got to admit I do prefer the F50. Anyways, let's power ourselves out of here and rush towards the finish line because we are almost done. And across the line. There we go. Alright. 36,741 credits. Gets a level 2 with the car. 50% discount on transmission and driveline upgrades by Ferrari. I'm actually curious. I wonder if we can actually get as close to 100% as we can. I think the best I've ever gotten so far is 50%. Anyway, Sunset Peninsula is next. We have 261,000 credits in the bank. So, how much did I have when I started off with the F40? I had like 458,000. So, yeah, we're not doing too bad. Luckily for the next few events, I can actually just use cars that are already in my garage as well. So, that's also a good thing. Alright. There we go. A little bit of wheel spin off the start, as you'd probably imagine. MC12 is having a few little issues there. Alright, on the brakes. There we go. Little dabs of power. Little dabs of power. There we go. That's what we need. As we come through the chicanes. Oop, God. That's not quite what I wanted to do through there. You do need to be as close to that curb as you can. Admittedly, in Forza 2, it's a lot less risky. In Forza 4 and 3, you do want to be as close as you can to that curb. Issue with being as close as you can to that curb is you'll probably end up killing the car, which isn't exactly something you want to do, because you'll just end up rolling it over most of the time. That's what most of the time happens to me anyway. Alright, go through here, there we go, little dabs of power get us round, and then onto the first of the straights, which hopefully, I don't know actually, you might have straight line speed on the MC12, you never know, because the MC12 is basically all downforce. technically speaking, on a straight, the Enzos should actually pass the MC12. The Enzos do have a bit more power. They also have a bit less in the way of aerodynamics, so we'll have to see what they actually do on the straights. By the looks of it though, Muller can't actually keep up. Do we have... Oh, we only have 5 gears. That would also explain another reason why the ratios are a little bit long in this car. There we go, coast it into there. Didn't exactly want to do that, but that's probably the best way to take that corner, to actually physically go out wide. It's probably shaves a bit less time on than going around it properly. Okay, we are getting a bit of a lead on to Muller and Rossi. Oop, there we go, try not to smash into the barriers there. On the brakes again, there we go. Take it nice and slow through there, back on the power again. We'll just come around these two chickens. I do like Sunset Peninsula as a racetrack actually, it's a pretty fun race course. It is a bit of a shame that they didn't really bring this back for any of the future Forza games after 4. Admittedly, I guess you could make the argument that we've got something similar in Daytona, because of course Daytona is kind of similar to Sunset in the sense that there's a big sort of speed bowl that surrounds it. You go on the speed bowl and then you go off, you do a few interesting corners and then you go back on the speed bowl again. You know, Daytona is similar in that regard. I personally much prefer Sunset over Daytona. Sunset's, I don't know, I think Sunset's just the better racing course overall. It's a lot wider, which helps dramatically when it comes to these sort of things. Brake into there we go. Okay, there we go, that's how you're supposed to take that corner. Now on the brakes of the foreboard. Back on power. There we go, okay. Lap 3 of 6, so we're not doing too bad. Oh god, okay, that's not exactly what I wanted to. I don't really know how that damaged the rear aero, but I mean, whatever. Apparently I'm just going to damage this car each and every bloody time I take it on a course. Sunset's the one. If this car was going to survive without damage, then Sunset would have been the course that it would have done it on, but there's no way I could save this car at Mugello. Mugello is just simply too strange for me to really do that. Anyways, the good news is, if you are bored of the regional championships now, don't worry, because we've only got 1 more episode in the regionals, and then we are going to be heading on to the factory spec races for a little bit. As I've said before, it looks like this is going to be a shorter game than I previously anticipated. It actually cuts down about 4 hours on the whole video scale, so that's cool. Again, if you're in the stream still, if you want to vote in the straw polls for which cars you'd like to see on... Wait, I haven't even put... Have I put the links in the straw poll? Apparently I haven't put the link in the description. I need to. But yeah, I have straw polls for this sort of thing, so... Yeah, if you want to vote on which cars you'd like to see go around the... Oh, sorry, cars you want to go around. I'm so used to saying that from the Top Gear stuff, which I actually need to do commentary for now that I think about it. I will do the commentary eventually. But we will see. Fuck's sake. Ah! Gearbox had minor damage in that. Good news with a mid-engine car is I actually survived that. I'm really sorry. It's just, fuck's sake. The brakes aren't, like, here's the thing. I expect the brakes to be so much better than they are. They're just not. I didn't rate the brakes. Maybe I should have put the brakes in. It's 13 grand seems a bit too steep for brakes though, so... anyways, unfortunately the F40 is once again injured. I do apologise. Usually I'm much better at driving than this, but apparently not today, it would appear. Today hasn't exactly gone well, has it? Oh well, whatever. I'll still record a bit more. I don't care if anyone's in the stream or if they're not, because I'm just gonna keep on trucking. I can keep on talking to myself for a bit. That's fine by me. Try not to hit the tyres. I did that. I actually did that in the RX-8 for, I can't remember what I was doing. I think it was the RX versus Fairlady thing. I ended up going headfirst into into the tyre bundle, which wasn't one of my smartest ideas, admittedly. Brakes broken on the front. It is affecting the way the car drives, not particularly much. Again, I'm still a bit confused by the race driver in the actual car itself, with his like slightly tilted head. It's weird. Yeah, if you go on the brakes, you can actually feel the car drag to the left a little bit more than it should do if it didn't have a damaged brake, but it does. There's nothing I can do about it, so I guess we'll just have to deal with it that way. Either way, race is almost over. Despite damaging the car quite heavily, I have got a lead on Muller. Ooh, there we go. Which is nice. There we go. Right, okay, carrying on to the first straight, and then we'll get on the bold section again. Luckily on the bold section, by the looks of it, the MC12 just can't keep up. To be fair, the car has a bit better straight line speed than I was initially expecting from it. I mean, the corners aren't quite handled as nicely as I was expecting, but at least the straight line speed itself is. It's a decent, well-rounded car, this, to be honest with you. I do wish I could change a few things on it again. I wish I'd have chosen to uprate the brakes. I'm also kind of wishing now in hindsight I'd put front aero on it, but it'll do for now. Maybe I shouldn't have put the rear aero on it. Maybe that's upsetting the rear end of the car a little bit. I don't really know. It seems to be fine though, so... Oh, God, well, there we go. Doesn't really matter about scraping on there. It's not like I'm going to damage much. The front aero is already broken. The front right brake is kind of buggered anyway. Stroking on that wall isn't exactly going to change anything, so whatever. Anyways, right, as we come down here, again you can see the car drag itself a little bit. I do like that. Forza's done its damage pretty well. It'll tell you, you know, you can feel when the car's damaged, you can feel when it's not damaged. That's just sort of the way it is, apparently. Does use up a little bit of fuel, this car, though, which is something I was not expecting. Alright, through here, and back onto the bold section before the final run to straight. I have 5 seconds on the Maserati, which is pretty good. It's a lot longer than I was expecting. Right, try not to hit the tyre wall. There we go. And hey, presto. Yep, there we go. Now, of course, that's going to cost quite a bit of money to repair, but nevertheless, I still walk away with 31 grand, which is more than I was expecting. So, 50% discount on supercharger upgrades by Novatech as well. Okay, cool. I believe we've had quite a few. All the Ferraris I've driven so far have had basically exactly the same progression, apparently. Anyways, final race heads to the Mugello full circuit. Not sure of how many laps. I think it's the 6th lapper, to be honest with you, which is going to be painful because the full Mugello course isn't exactly the shortest thing in the world. I'm just going to move the microphone a bit. There, that's better. Right, here we go. Five laps. Okay, so it's not 6 laps, it's 5 laps. That's fine. It is a lot of corners, this track, though, so Maserati could have the advantage there. He's trying to close that gap. That isn't really going to... Well, it is going to work for you because you're going to do it, but still. Right. Now, here's the issue. Usually, in these sort of battles, I'd be fine because Mugello is sort of dependent on corner grip more than just flat-out straight line speed. The issue I've got is getting around this MC12, considering he's got corner grip. I do have a bit more speed than him, so I might be able to do something like that. There we go. I can do something like that, but he's just going to try and dive up the inside. Isn't going to work out for you, though, is it, buddy? Nope. I win that battle. Right. Through here, drop it down a gear just to preserve the engine a little bit. There we go. Nice and flowing round there. Take this right-hander. I don't really want to be on the curb. My brain keeps telling myself don't go on the curb, and then I actually go on the curb because, I don't know, I don't really listen to my brain all that much. Alright, through here. There we go, nicely, nicely. Oop, little bits of a slide out on that corner. Nothing too major though. Right, brakes. Sort of ease it round here. Like so. Run a little bit on the wide side. Not really where I want to be, but there you go. To where I end up occasionally. Alright. On the brakes going down to here. Final corner is a wide and yay. Influencing data? I'm confused. I'm very confused. What is meant? What is mean? I don't know. Anyways, right. On the brakes. On the brakes. On the brakes. On the brakes. Brakes. Again, not particularly good as I'd want them to be. They're still not too bad. Come on. Oh god, I didn't really want to ride the grass there either. Happens sometimes. Straw poll shenanigans. Oh. Have you voted? Have you voted in said straw polls? Hopefully certain cars don't win in those straw polls because there's certain cars that I really would not want to use. Oh, there we go through there. On the grass a bit. I'm gonna switch to a different view now. I can't really use the HUD cam in this game. Just did. Cool. Yes, there's many different straw polls. I don't know. It's your choice on how you want to go through them. Personally, I would go through them either do all 20 at a time or just do sort of the ones that are going to happen the nearest. Because here's the thing, the way those are structured is they're basically in the exact order I'm going to be taking those events in. So, yeah. Again, as I've said before, basically the way I'm working it is we are going to do... Oh well, looks like you're going to be using a car or three you don't like. Let me guess, the Talon's winning one of the D-Class votes, Astra's winning another D-Class vote, and there's something else as well I threw in there, I can't remember what it is. Oh yeah, I'm guessing the Talon and the Astra are winning on the D and C class things, which is... I mean, I'm fine with that. I'm sure the Talon is reasonably nice to drive. It shuts Daniel up for a bit as well, I guess, so that's fine. Alright, on the brakes. There we go. Right. Third lap. Okay, we are halfway. Yeah, Talon meme is winning a thing. Oh boy, what were the other cars in that D-Class thing? Because here's the thing, actually selecting the cars for the D-Class and C-Class stuff wasn't too hard. Like, once it got to like B and A class and S class, it sort of got tricky. Don't remember seeing an Astra leading a polo. Oh, that's good then. I think it was the C-Class Professional Cup. Oh, is the DTM Master winning? That's cool. I'm fine with using the DTM Master because that thing is cool as fuck. But yeah, I can't remember what class that is. Hopefully, it doesn't beat the Vitaphone Racing MC12 because I really want to use that. Well, I will be using that. I think on some of the polls, I think for the MC12 poll actually, it is currently in a fight with the McLaren F1. So yeah, I've got a nasty feeling the F1's probably going to win that one because I know how popular the F1 is, but at the same time I really want the MC12 to win because the Vitaphone Maserati is a very, very cool looking car. I really want to use it at some point. I don't know. Maybe I should have wrote the straw polls out a bit like later than I did, but at the same time it's fine. I was going to say, I'm going to try not to use two cars like... Basically, I'm not going to try and use the same car twice. If it wins the poll and I've already used it, I may very well just go with the second winning car. Which is, you know, that might be an interesting way to work it. Apparently, I haven't stuck the straw polls in the description. I'll have a look at that in a second. Anyways. Muller is in front, but we can get the slipstream on him, which is fine. Don't think I've used fifth gear once in this car because it's geared way too long. I think it's probably, I don't know actually, maybe the gearbox is just this khaki when it first goes in. I don't know if maybe putting the cams in it. I can't imagine the cams as, feed the gears. The Laymaster is being blown out of the water. Jesus Christ, what by? I was expecting in C-Class the Aster to dominate. So what's actually... I do need to check the straw polls, actually. Again, people have got like at least a week or so to vote in them, so by the time that I finally get around to recording the things, probably other things might be winning. But we'll have to see. Again, I might do like another Forza 6 stream, which is usually quite popular, and then just push it down people's throats that way. That's probably a way to... fifth gear is probably just a fuel mileage gear. Potentially. I can't imagine on an F40 though. And as I said, I thought these things were geared... I know the F50 is geared very well. So I was kind of expecting this to be geared much in the same way, like, but apparently no. Anyways, I don't know why I've turned full northern. Alright, there we go. Through here. I do have to admit, it's kind of refreshing driving the Mugello full after a long time. I will say, I will come to hate this track. I'm usually not a big fan of Mugello, and yeah. I'm fine with driving it once or twice. The issue with this game, and indeed Forza 4, is basically by the end of the game, this track just gets pushed down your throat constantly. Like, you can't escape this track. This track's escape is set to no, so yeah, it's not particularly good. Yeah, I'll check the straw polls in a minute and see what's coming out on top, because I'm actually somewhat curious. Lap 5 of 5, here we go. Let's finish this good old race series out. I'm not going to speak, I'm hopefully not going to jinx myself. I don't think the car actually got damaged on Mugello, which is interesting. I seriously thought this was the track where I end up writing the car off, but there you go. It's fine. Haven't had an expensive crash just yet, haven't had people try and kill me just yet, which is nice. Because you'd expect people to if you damage a Ferrari F40, because the F40 is apparently God or something. I don't know. I like the F40, I wouldn't exactly call it God or anything, but I don't worship it. I don't know, I guess the Ferrari F40 sort of sits in the whole Jaguar E-Type camp, where people seem to really, really, really like this car. I do love the F40, I don't think I love it quite as much as most people do though. And I know it's sort of, for most people, they hate the F50 compared to the F40. I can see why you wouldn't like the F50, I still prefer the F50 over the F40. Although I do definitely prefer the F40 over the Enzo. Speaking of stuff I prefer over the Enzo, the Maserati MC12 is just behind me, but unless I make a silly mistake through here, I am not going to have him to do with. I'm kind of surprised, actually. That Maserati's done a lot better than I was expecting it to. I was expecting the Ferraris to go over. Only the F50 and F50 GT's God. And the F3. Anyways. Final lap hype. I actually did put the F33 in the straw polls, but I don't know where the hell... which one I put it in. I'll check in a second. Anyways, 38,000 credits for not killing the car. We get to level 4. We get a 10% discount on tyre compound by Bridgestone. That's cool. That is very cool indeed. Anyways, as it loads up, we get 44,000 credits. And for our prize car, we get... well, we get Lord Jesus incarnate. We get the amazing Maserati MC12. I mean, how can you not like the MC12? Anyways, so that is it for this episode of the Forza Motorsport 2 Let's Play. In the next episode, we're going to be taking a look at the GT Championship of Japan Championship. So join me for that. Anyways, friends, I want to thank you all very much for watching. My name has been The Real Emile. Until next time, farewell.